chance to double your winnings on your next 10 bets. Open to new users in New Jersey who are 21 or older. Max bet $25 for boosts and winnings. Max additional winnings $25,000 per bet. Prop boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. For terms, Caesars.com/promos. If you or someone has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
South Jersey's official play-by-play home of the Eagles, Sixers, and Flyers.
At 0 point would I ever consider not being a fan of the team.
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey. This is Game Night with Josh Hennig.
Let's go!
On 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
Let's go!
Now live from inside the Ocean Casino Resort Studio, here's Josh Hennig.
Howie Roseman flying under the radar. You might not have thought it was possible, but I'm here to tell you all about it here on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle. We'll dig deeper into the state of the NFL coming up in about under 20 minutes from now. Andy McNamara, he is back, NFL podcasting host. He will join us to talk more about the league, and we'll get his insights on, because we know he covers the Cleveland Browns. Former Eagle Kenny Pickett is now a Cleveland Brown. Former Brown Harrison Bryant is now an Eagle. Josh Hennig here in the Ocean Casino Resort Studios. I'm going to get into some of these moves with you because I don't think we're talking about these additions the way we should. Because Howie Roseman, he's playing chess. The rest of the league is playing checkers, and here's why. One of the problems in the NFL today is everyone is trying to better themselves from the year before. But when you're the team that won the championship, you're going to lose players. So what the Eagles do is they know that everybody wants their guys. Everybody wants a piece of their pie. So if you know everybody wants your players, everybody wants to come after your guys. When you win a championship, everybody wants your players. But then you got to make a decision. Which of our players are most important to our success? So that's why you say, we're going to give Zach Bond a contract, but we're not going to give it to Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, because Josh Sweat and Milton Williams are in many ways byproducts of the players around them. Remember the saying that Nick Sirianni always says, you cannot be great with the greatness of others. So, as a result, if you are a team that knows that the core of your team is guys like Jalen Carter and Zach Bond, you are not going to overspend to keep, just to use an example, Milton Williams or Josh Sweat. And I think it's a similar conversation for guys like Slay. Slay got $10 million guaranteed. Well, the Eagles today, one of their 3 signings was Adoree Jackson, the cornerback. Adoree Jackson is not going to cost you $10 million guaranteed. But what is Adoree Jackson? Younger than Slay. See, this is a very simple equation we're talking about here. We're not talking rocket science here. We're talking very, very simple. The Philadelphia Eagles just today have added 3 players, all on 1-year contracts. And every single one of those players has a specific value to this team. And the great part about signing guys to a 1-year deal is that you are not tied to them salary-wise beyond this year. So let's go in reverse order. Adoree Jackson was the deal that was announced less than an hour ago. 1-year deal, still waiting on the financials. But the reality is that a 1-year deal for a guy who is a former first-round pick. And I remember this guy very clearly in 2017 because he was at USC. He was considered one of these elite athletes, maybe a little raw coming out of college, but they thought he could develop into a very good player. Well, at Tennessee, under Mike Vrabel and that coaching staff, he did evolve into a good player. But then he hit free agency and got a massive contract from the Giants. And he really never lived up to that contract. Part of it was injury. There's a lot of variables that went into it. But Jackson, he has now played in the league for 8 years. So he's a veteran player, but he's 5 years younger than Slay. And he might not be as gifted as a corner as Slay is, but he's definitely as, if not more, athletic. And he's also a guy who has started 82 games in this league. So you're bringing him in. Why? Because you're not going to hand the outside starting job to anyone. Whether it's Keely Ringo, Cooper DeJean, whoever. You got to earn your job. Remember, they brought in Devin White with the idea that linebacking core was going to be led by Devin White and Nakobe Dean. Well, by the end of the training camp, it was Zach Bond was the top linebacker, and the other two guys both took a step down the depth chart. Same thing could be happening here. You could be bringing in a Dory Jackson with the idea that he is going to maybe contend for that starting job, but somebody else gets it. But you want the competition. You want to have multiple options on the field, which gets us to our second player. As I wrote about at 97.3 ESPN.com, the Eagles signing Harrison Bryant is a very, very fascinating move to me. And I think it is a clear sign that the Eagles are serious about these reports. For those who haven't seen, there have been reports earlier this week that Dallas Goedert could be traded. NFL insider Josina Anderson and Eagles insider Jeff Mosher both reporting, as well as a couple other people. Harrison Bryant is basically a less expensive version of Dallas Goedert, and a guy who is not just less expensive, but he's less injured. Dallas Goedert hasn't played more than 15 games ever in a season, and in the last 5 seasons, he's only played 15 games once. So how am I supposed to look at a guy like Dallas Goedert and take him seriously moving forward if he gets injured every single year? Now, I understand for some of you out there who all you know is the stats that you read on a sheet or something like that, I'm here to educate you. Josh Hennig live in the Ocean Casino Resort Studios on 97.3 ESPN. Harrison Bryant was the John Mackey Award winner in college. That is the award given to the best tight end in college football every single year. He was the number 1 receiving option for a Florida Atlantic team that finished their season 14th in college football in scoring with 36 points per game. He was their number 1 receiver, an offense cultivated by Lane Kiffin, one of the best all-minded coaches in all of college football. And he built an offense around this guy. Now, you might be wondering, well, why didn't Harrison Bryant get drafted in the first or second rounds? And it's because he had a horrible draft process. He did not test well at the combine. He did not test well in many drills, even at his pro day. And that was a negative against him in the draft process. But he gets picked up by the Browns. And even though he was the number 2 tight end every year behind David Njoku in Cleveland, he still had 10 touchdowns over 4 seasons. And then last year, he was just buried behind 2 very young, very gifted tight ends in Oakland. And so, while Harrison Bryant, listen, he's never going to be Zach Ertz, okay? But he also is a very good inline blocker. He is an underrated receiver, an underrated athlete. He can do everything Dallas Goedert does, except he doesn't get injured as often as Goddard gets injured. So the Eagles literally brought a guy in to let Grant Calcaterra know that starting job is not automatically going to be given to him if they move on from Goddard. And then the third move that happened this morning, Josh Uche. Now, some of you might be saying, who in tarnations is Josh Uche? Well, Josh Uche is a situational pass rusher who had one great year in the NFL. He had an 11.5 sack season a couple years ago with the New England Patriots. And it was actually the last season Bill Belichick actually coached a good defense in New England. Josh Uche was on that pass rush. Now, he's an inconsistent player. He is a situational pass rusher. But isn't that what Philadelphia needs? Don't they need a guy that just go out there? If you end up having, and I'm just throwing out a number, okay? Your defense has 45 snaps in a game. Don't you need a situational pass rush on at least 15 to 25 of them? That's why you bring this guy in. You're bringing him in with the idea that he could maybe be a guy who gets 15 to 25 snaps a game, and you just tell him to go get the quarterback. Because guess what? No Josh Sweat means more playing time for Nolan Smith. So who's going to back up Nolan Smith? Probably Jilix Hunt. Or is Jilix Hunt going to be competing with Bryce Huff for snaps? And that's where Josh Uche comes in. He is a guy who can say, look, I can't play the run very well, but I can do pass rush. I can seal the edge. I have experience. I'm a veteran. And again, these are all three underrated moves by Howie Roseman for specific needs. You lose a pass rusher, you gain a pass rusher. Josh Sweat, the Josh Uche. You might be losing Dallas Goedert. Here's Harrison Bryant. And you need more depth anyway, because let's be realistic. Outside of Grant Calcaterra, who's going to play tight end for this team moving forward? And then Adoree Jackson. You needed another athletic outside corner. Whether he's a starter or the number 2 or number 3 option, you need him. Why not get a guy who's 5 years younger than the guy who just left? 609-403-0973. No, not Bobby Boucher. Josh Uche. Somebody texted that in. That was, oh my goodness. But seriously, these moves are the kind of moves that help you contend for championships, because you don't just go all in on these big contracts. Over on the YouTube channel at Josh Hennig, BADA chimes in and says, way to go, Howie. Nice pickup. Adoree Jackson out of USC. My college team, go Bird. Well, look at that. A USC grad recognizes Adoree Jackson. People forget, Jackson was like a freakazoid athlete. I remember him at USC. And I got to pull up that draft, but I believe it was him and another draft pick were like highly debated in 2017. And it was one of those years like, well, which corner would you rather have? And Jackson was one of them. Let me pull it up here. Yeah. So in the first round that year, there were 5 corners, and Jackson was one of the 5. So you had Marshawn Lattimore drafted by the Saints. He's now in Washington. Marlon Humphrey drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. Adoree Jackson by Tennessee Titans. Gary and Conley by the then Oakland Raiders. And then Tre'Davious White by Buffalo. So, and I remember that year. That year was highly debated. Do you want the polished guy in Lattimore? Do you want the well-rounded guy in Humphrey? Do you want the guy with the higher ceiling in Jackson? The guy with the, underrated skill set in Connolly? Or do you want the upside in White? And realistically, outside of Connolly, all those guys have worked out to be quality NFL starters. And really, it's only been Lattimore and Humphrey that have consistently been like Pro Bowl caliber type players. The rest of them have been solid to very good. All right, coming up next, we'll dig deeper into the Eagles offseason, the NFL. We are only days into the 2025 NFL League year. Josh Hennig hanging out with you on 97.3 ESPN. Don't forget my friends over at the Caesars Sportsbook. It's the only sportsbook app with Caesars rewards. That means win or lose, every bet you place brings you closer to the type of perks only Caesars can offer. So download the app using promo code DYW and place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 10 bets. Open new users in New Jersey who are 21 or older. Max bet of $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings, $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. For terms, see Caesars.com/promos. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Listen to all the bets. March Madness is coming to 97.3 ESPN.
The 2025 Hercules Tires MAC Basketball Championships are returning to Atlantic City's iconic Jim Whalen Boardwalk Hall for the 6th consecutive year, March 11th through the 15th, featuring 22 men's and women's teams. The tournament is fun for the family, featuring a band jam, Spirit Squad showcase, Kids Day, and mascot game. Don't miss the chance to be a part of the action to see who will cut down the nets and earn a spot in the big dance. Visit maxsports.com/basketball for more information.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-506-3355. 800-506-3355.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
I'm an old school Joe. I never lay juice I don't want to lay. I don't hate my money like that. I'd rather lay minus 108 than minus 110, wouldn't you? Prime Sports is New Jersey's full-time reduced juice sportsbook. Download the Prime Sports New Jersey app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit with up to $400 in bonus bets.
Terms and conditions apply. Real money wagers equal to deposit plus bonus required before withdrawal. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in New Jersey. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the Town Square, New Jersey Info and Weather Network.
Progressive Insurance presents the Sports Flash on 97.3 ESPN. The Sixers, losing Wednesday to the Toronto Raptors 118-105, have now lost 5 of their last 6 games. Philadelphia back home on Friday night as they take on the Indiana Pacers. Quentin Grimes led Philadelphia Wednesday with 29 points. Jeff Doughton scored 20 off the bench. Coverage Friday starts at 7 o'clock right here on 97.3 ESPN. The Flyers back on home ice tonight as they take on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Philadelphia is looking to snap a 5-game losing skid. They fell Tuesday night to the Ottawa Senators 5-2. Our coverage tonight starts at 7 right here on 97.3 ESPN. NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles have signed former Green Bay Packers running back A.J. Dillon to a 1-year deal. He did not play last season due to a neck injury with the Packers, but is now cleared to play. Fills a void that was created when Kenneth Gainwell signed a deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Progressive Insurance, bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive. I'm Tony Desiri, and that's your Sports Flash on 97.3 ESPN.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/radio. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
Good afternoon. With your South Jersey weather forecast, I'm Joe Kelly. We had those couple days earlier this week where temperatures peaked into the 60s. We had some sunshine and things were looking up. Now they're just kind of looking blah. We're going to see clouds the rest of the afternoon on into tonight. Tonight's low about 39. Tomorrow morning, clouds, maybe some afternoon sunshine, high of 52. And as of right now, the outlook for the weekend, cloudy Saturday and 57. Sunday, maybe some rain in the afternoon with a high of 64. That's your South Jersey weather.
Hey, this is Josh Hennig from 97.3 ESPN.
This is Billy Schwein from the locker room.
Join us this Saturday for the 45th annual St. Pat's Boardwalk 10-miler and 5K run with the start and finish line out front of Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City.
The locker room crew will be broadcasted live on the Atlantic City Boardwalk from 10 a.m. to 12 noon.
Come on out and support the St. Pat's Boardwalk race this Saturday.
Join the locker room with Billy Schwein in front of the Ocean Casino Resort, broadcasting live from 10 a.m. to 12 noon on 97.3 ESPN.
This is Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
You know, it's amazing that we live in a world, Josh Hennig here in the Ocean Casino Resort Studios on 97.3 ESPN, that people like me and my next guest have to be the voice of reason a lot of time, because it's literally gotten to a point I can see him laughing backstage on the YouTube stream. It's amazing how often I see people make comments on social media and you just want to smack people over the head because they just don't get it. A man who knows what I'm talking about is Andy McNamara. He's back here on 97.3 ESPN. Andy, welcome back in. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing good, buddy. I'm doing good. I can't wait for the next exciting Brown signing. Maybe another former Steeler with the little hands like Kenny Pickett. Good Lord, Josh.
Remember I sent you the meme that said they promised Myles Garrett, we'll get you a Super Bowl winning quarterback. And then there's Kenny Pickett. Yeah.
Life lesson. Always ask that extra question, folks, right?
Listen,
we'll get you a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
The small print matters.
Oh, my. But I'm doing well. I'm doing well despite my Browns frustration. But otherwise, yes, this has been like everything shifting because we're so used to certain players being on certain teams, of course. But it seems like there is extra movement of notables this offseason. It's been wild.
It has been wild. But before we move on from Pickett, I did, because I don't like to be the guy who like tweets at people and like tries to start stuff because I think that's childish sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do disagree about one thing, and that is, and I understand where you're coming from because you're coming from a perspective as a long-suffering Browns fan who has seen about 2 million different trash quarterbacks come through Cleveland.
Yeah.
So I understand part of this is like residual pain, not just like current pain.
Yes. Thank you. You get it.
I will say that Pickett is not the worst quarterback in the league. And there's a
good.
But that's part of the problem with Cleveland. You guys end up with Deshaun Kaiser. You know what I mean? Like
we took the wrong Deshaun that year. That's the same year as Watson. We took the other. They got confused.
You got the wrong
we took the other
Deshaun
one
in the wrong year.
Then we got the right Deshaun in the wrong year.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Well, you guys got DTR, which I think is a skill match, a better skill match for Philadelphia. But
right.
Listen, Eagles fans listening. I thought the guy had moxie. I thought he had guts. But Josh, he's thrown one more NFL touchdown pass than you or I, and he's 3 years in. So, don't get too excited. But, like, Josh, I literally have spent, before he was drafted, mocking and calling him baby hands Kenny Pickett. His whole thing. And now he's there. I'll say this right now. I said this on my show last night. If Kenny Pickett is the opening day starter for the Cleveland Browns, I will go to the city to support the restaurants, enjoy myself. I will not support and buy a ticket to watch. I will not pay money to see Kenny Pickett play football. I won't do it.
But now, let me ask you this. How much of that is because of the 25 years of suffering? And how much of that is Kenny Pickett? Because like how much it is like, like you say enough is enough. Like you're putting your fist down, you're closing the wallet, and you're just saying not today.
Not today. It's a combo of all of it. I played, and you've seen it, of course, the Pickett in the Eagles uniform, the gif where he holds onto the ball, doesn't let it go.
Yep.
On my show last night, I was like, guys, we got a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Let's take a look. Oh no. Look, if Kenny Pickett is my number 3, I'm fine with it. That's great. That's an upgrade over what we had. As a 3, sure. You're right. He isn't the worst in the league. He's one game, but he's also not good. And the Steelers got rid of him. And then we go round and round. And the bottom line is the Browns don't have any money to spend because of the Watson deal. And it just keeps adding on. And so you get bargain basement. That's what you get.
Now, what's interesting is, speaking of bargains, because that's what Howie's done today. He's made 3 under-the-radar moves that I think are all incredibly smart. And one of them involves your team. I was a big Harrison Bryant guy coming out of college. You and I remember talking about this years ago.
Yeah.
When he was a John Mackey Award winner. But he tested horrible at the combine. He was like the opposite of like a combine superstar. He was like the biggest combine loser.
Right.
And it forced him down the draft. There was, I think, 5 guys drafted ahead of him. And yet there's only one tight end in that whole draft class with more touchdown catches than he does.
Yeah.
So, and listen, let's be realistic, okay? The Browns love David Njoku, okay?
Yes.
That organization, it's like a man crush thing going on there. So Harrison was never going to get that many snaps over Njoku, except for the one time that Njoku got injured, right? So
right. And he did pretty good.
But the guy still had 10 touchdowns in 4 years as a number 2 tight end.
Yes.
And I'm looking at him and I'm saying he does everything Dallas Goedert does. He's the same height. He can inline block. He can catch the ball. He can high point it. And don't forget, when he was in college, he was the number 1 receiving option for a team that scored 36 points a game under Lane Kiffin. So to me, this is a clear sign in Harrison Bryant. And I wrote about this at 973ESPN.com. Just kind of giving you, Andy, the cliff notes.
Yeah.
You're a busy man up there with 20 million things and horses. And so, what happens is that I'm sitting here trying to explain to people this guy could replace Dallas Goedert. And I keep getting these people on social media losing their mind. He's a number 3 tight end. He's a loser. And I'm like, guys, do you know anything about a player except for his stat line from last year?
Yeah. You're totally right. And now do you feel this will replace Dallas Goedert, or he'll be an add-on? I would love if he was with Dallas Goedert. That would be something.
So here's the thing. So the reporting came out on Sunday and Monday that the Eagles are open to trading Goedert because the organization, just to give you a background, Andy, and this is something that's going to make you laugh a little bit. So I'm glad you finished drinking your drink before I say this. The Eagles are trying to create better cash flow moving forward because they know in the coming years they're going to need to re-sign Jalen Carter and re-sign Cam Jurgens and re-sign Quinyon Mitchell and Reed Blankenship, right? So they got all these guys that are going to eventually re-sign. So what they're doing is they are trying to shed short-term money to make long-term contracts.
I like it.
So that's why the last 4 deals they made are all 1-year deals, because it's kind of like in the NBA. It's like the team that says, I'm just going to hold the salary cap with this one guy or 2 or 3 guys. And so the Eagles are kind of doing the same thing right now where they're saying, we still need money for the draft picks. And we still need money for our young players. And we still need money for maybe next year when we want to maybe be like, ooh, that's a pretty car in the parking lot. Let's go get that thing,
Get that one piece. Yeah.
Right. So that's what they're doing. And Goddard, I mean, the guy has only played 15 games once in the last 4 or 5 years.
It's true.
So, he can't stay healthy. And that's why the reporting is out there from multiple people that the Eagles are looking to maybe trade him because they're saying, listen, we love you, Dallas. Thanks for winning a championship for us. But we're paying you a good penny for you to not play basically almost a third of every season.
No, it's a valid point. And the Harris. Now, I think the perfect combo is if you could string out a year with Dallas Goedert and Harrison Bryant. I think that would be very dynamic and very exciting from the tight end position. But if you don't, to Eagles fans, that's why I'm the right person to have on to talk about this, because Harrison Bryant was, to your point, Josh, he was, when he got the opportunity, and they were far between. Remember, terrible quarterback play all along the way for a lot of it too. He was good, and he is a willing blocker, and also he might be able to help in the whole push thing, because he was the guy who would sneak. He was doing the Browns quarterback sneaks.
Yep.
So he's multi-talented. Now, do I see him more as a chain mover, not dynamic after the catch? Is he a catch and fall down guy? A little bit more than that, but he's not going to blow the doors off you. But I don't think in this Eagles offense you need that. You need somebody with his skill set who's versatile, who will block when you ask him to, who will get that first. Hey, you need 7 yards? Guess what? Brian's going to be right there at the marker. Boom, and you're good. It's a very serviceable and it's a very under the radar sign that I think Eagles fans will grow to appreciate.
Talk with Andy McNamara. Of course, he is the host of the Sick Podcast. Like, subscribe, and download wherever you get your podcast. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, that's the mug he keeps drinking out of. Now, what I want to know real quick is, did they get the logo right the first time you got the mug? Or was that one of the situations where you had to send it back and get fixed?
Well, no, the fine producers at the Sick Media Network sent it to me, and from what I can tell, it's spelt right. Apparently, you can buy one if you want a mug with my name on it for some reason. Hit me up at AndyMC81. I don't know why you would, but you could. It's a nice mug.
My mind always goes I'm not trying to be mean to anyone in particular, but I always think of those scenarios where people say, "Oh, look at this thing we're gonna get," and they get the concept art, right? And then when they get it, it's like an episode of Parks and Recreation, or It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where it's it looks great on the magazine, and they get it, they're like,
"Oh,
what is this?"
Yeah, it's the what is it, the Temu version, right? I'll tell you real quick funny story in an exact scenario like that. So King's Plate is the Canada version of the Kentucky Derby, right? And it's called the King's Plate. 150 something, I should probably know how old it is. 100 something years old, 60 years old, whatever, since 1860. And they're like, "This year, Andy, we want you to get all dressed up in a tuxedo, but you got to ball on a budget a little bit." So they ordered these makeshift, so certainly not form fitting tuxedos, bright blue, Josh. And my partner here, it was an hour in, he puts his hand in his pocket. He's like, "Andy, do you know where I can put my wallet? Because my hand just went through my pants." It was the worst quality. It was itchy. It was hot. So that's the exact scenario of yes. And you know what? I think you could tie that into NFL free agency. Sometimes you spend the money, you hope you get the thing you want, and you end up getting a blue tuxedo from China that your hand goes to the pocket.
And I think that is why right now, to bring it full circle back to the Browns quarterback situation, I think that's part of the reason why teams are in the situation they are with quarterbacks. Because, you look around the league, it's not that Sam Darnold is really worth everything Seattle gave him. It's not that the Kenny Pickett is worth what the Browns gave up to trade for him. It's not that anyone actually wants Russell Wilson, okay? It's the fact that this is what you're left with. Mm-hmm. Because, as you know, Andy, this draft class it's not great. It's okay. It's solid. I could totally see 3 of these, maybe even 4 of them, the guys in this class having good NFL careers. But there's nobody in this class that gets you excited in a quarterback position. And, it's to the point now where we had Josina Anderson. She was on with Mike Gill earlier today on the Sports Bash. And she brought up the point that I've been bringing up. And when I say this, you're going to chuckle because you know me. But she brought up, she was like, "I don't know why no one is interested in Jameis Winston." She's like, "He's out there still in free agency." And I'm sitting in my chair, and I'm thinking, well, of course no one was saying about Jameis Winston, because Jameis Winston is too interesting. He's not football-y enough,
And he throws all the interceptions as well. That's the other part of it. If you could give me Jameis Winston just as I don't know, a hype man or something, cool. Guy was super fun. But you're right. It's the supply and demand. The supply isn't that good. And if you are one of the teams that don't have one of the top 12 quarterbacks, you are hunting, fishing, hoping, praying that you catch your Sam Darnold, right? That's now a saying. Oh, maybe Daniel Jones will be the next Sam Darnold for the Colts. Well, probably not, because it's called Sam Darnold. It's that rare. And I don't think Sam Darnold's going to be able to be Sam Darnold going forward as well. There's a huge chance he regresses back. Absolutely. And so, yeah, now you see like Russell Wilson, Gardner Minshew to the Chiefs to back up Mahomes. Okay. You know, like Mason Rudolph, this giant square head, back to the Steelers. Like it's ridiculous how thin that position is and how thirsty. And the one block, actually there's two. There's Aaron Rodgers, but also that Atlanta situation with Kirk Cousins, Josh, because they got till Sunday. And if he is still on their roster at Sunday, they're paying him all that $37.5 million. If they cut him, they save 10. But the interesting part is, do they just say, hey, it's only 10 mil, we'll keep him, because otherwise they'll be in the same situation looking for a backup veteran with a second-year quarterback who has an injury history.
Andy, really quick, do you think that's why Cleveland is going about things the way they are? Because they're still hoping that Kirk Cousins gets cut?
Yes, I do. I absolutely think that's it. You have the connection with Stefanski going back. He can run the offense when healthy. Now, again, the question, the unknown here, Josh, is if he's released, you can hope the Browns can be like, hey, he's our guy. Get him in the building, try him out. It's like, the physicals aren't, like his shoulders hurt, had the Achilles. Like, is he toast? Does he come back? That's the wild card part. You could have and still be bad. And then the other fact, could Joe Flacco be floating around somewhere too? That's where we're at.
You know
and
who
Aaron
Flacco
Rodgers
just met with today? You know who Flacco's met with today?
Oh no, who?
The Giants.
Oh, geez. Yeah. You know what? The guy can throw the damn football still. He can throw it. Like he'll throw interceptions too, but he can sling it. And I wonder if Aaron Rodgers is still looking longingly on that beach with a towel around him, Josh. Because where does he go? That Aaron Rodgers domino is going to set off not just for the rest of free agency with these quarterbacks, but also the draft. He has a home in Tennessee, I'm told. Does he sign with the Titans? Do you get Cam Ward then? If you're the Titans then? What if you don't? You're going to have to draft Cam Ward. There's so many different layers of where Aaron Rodgers, and then it goes Russell Wilson, Cousins, etc.
The Tennessee thing is interesting because they need a quarterback desperately.
Badly.
But,
yes.
But are they desperate enough for Aaron Rodgers? You know what I mean? Like, is that a meeting of the minds?
Look, I think Aaron Rodgers, we saw the stat line. Can he still play? Yes. Is he worth the trouble? That's debatable. I would lean to no, and I think it has to be a very strong coach. Brian Callahan, I don't think, is in a power position with the Titans coming off that bad year. Aaron Rodgers could eat him up. Now, if Rodgers went to Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin, stronger culture, not going to get pushed around. Maybe that also doesn't appeal to Aaron Rodgers because he wants to do that.
Or does it? Is he a guy where he's at a point where he's like, you know, like in his mind, he's thinking back to, you know, my last couple coaches were Matt LaFleur and Robert Saleh, a bunch of young guys. Maybe Rodgers is like longing for like some older stability in his life. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's like, I miss that cranky Mike McCarthy, you know?
You know what? I think, Josh, if we were to try to guess what's going on in between the ears of Aaron Rodgers, we drive ourselves nuts.
Well, the only reason I put it that way is because listen.
No, it's a good point.
In the last 12 months, I read Ian O'Connor's book on Aaron Rodgers, and right now I'm working through the book, The Why Is Everything, about the Shanahan coaching tree, about how you had that. Remember, it was that Washington team on that coaching staff. I don't know, Mike Shanahan was Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, Raheem Morris, Mike McDaniel, Robert Saleh. They were all on the same stinking coaching staff. And this book is about like basically the etymology of that whole situation. And one of the things they talk about in the book, and it also kind of parallels with the Rodgers book, which was Rodgers was not happy when they got rid of Mike McCarthy. He was not happy that they fired Mike McCarthy and hired this like young whippersnapper to come in here with his, you know,
hot shot.
And And literally what happened is the reason why Nathaniel Hackett was so important to that operation is because Rodgers and LaFleur couldn't get along at first. And Nathaniel Hackett became like the translator between the two.
Right.
And as soon as he came in there, he was a guy that bridged that gap. And that's when Rodgers had the MVP seasons. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like there's a part of me that wonders, does Rodgers just want a more mature coach instead of some young bro?
It could be. I've also heard him linked, and apparently, and this is just silly season, of course, right? We're hearing 10 things 10 different ways, and who the heck knows. But I'm hearing one of his preferred destinations is Minnesota. And I think that would be hilarious because he would literally be following the path of Brett Favre, but in reverse. Brett Favre did pretty good in the other spots for a little bit at least, right? So he would go there because you look at the Minnesota Vikings right now. You lost Daniel Jones. You lost Sam Darnold. You have J.J. McCarthy, who's never played a snap off a knee injury. Actually, that would make some sense. Now, does that coach help go to Aaron Rodgers' thing? I don't know. But Minnesota would make some sense too.
You know, I saw a stat earlier today that Kevin O'Connell, so you'll love this. Kevin O'Connell, he has had 2 different seasons with quarterbacks who have won 13 games as a head coach.
Oh, wow.
There's only one NFL head coach who's had 3 different seasons with 3 different quarterbacks and winning 13 games.
Who would that be?
So I know the answer because I saw the stat this morning. So I know the answer to this question.
Okay.
And I was surprised. Now, I will admit, when I was rolling through my brain's Rolodex, I thought of this coach.
Okay.
But it was not my final answer. I was wrong. My final answer was actually Bill Parcells.
Are they still coaching or no?
No, he's not coaching anymore. But the point is that, like, when I say this name, you're going to realize how ridiculous wins are for quarterbacks.
Okay.
Okay? Because you know me and my play about quarterbacks get too much credit, right? Like,
sure.
This was the ultimate trivia question that I'm sitting there thinking, oh, it's got to be something like Bill Parcells because of all the quarterbacks he's coached, right?
Teams,
no.
yeah.
Not even him. He doesn't even have 3. Kevin O'Connell has 2. Bill Parcells has 2. But this guy had 3 different years, 3 different quarterbacks, and 13 wins.
Interesting. Who? Oh, okay. What era? Can you give me like a decade? Like, are we talking 80s, like 90s?
I'll give you a window. Okay.
Yeah.
1990 to 2010.
90 to 2010. Oh boy. Okay, let's see. Well, it's not. No, it wouldn't be Belichick, obviously.
I'll give you a hint. He did coach before 1990 as well, but I'm just giving you the window in when this happened.
It's not. No, not Mike McCarthy. They had 11 in that. I don't know who.
Marty Schottenheimer.
Marty. You know what? I swear to God, I was going to say Marty, but I didn't. I was thinking his Browns days, and I don't know if they got to.
Well,
they went to 3 championships.
Messed me up. That's what messed me up because
he was in the 80s.
That's why I disqualified him because I was like, I don't think Kozar ever won more than 12 games.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't think he did. He? I guess no.
No, he didn't. But that's where I messed up because now hold on to your chair. Here are the 3 quarterbacks that won 13 games with Marty Schottenheimer. The obvious one is Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
When they went to 14-2.
Yeah.
But the 2 before that were in Kansas City, and neither one was Joe Montana. Elvis Gerbach.
I knew it was in the E. I was thinking Eric. Elvis. Oh my gosh, yes.
And Steve Bono.
Steve Bono won 13 games in the NFL.
With the Kansas City Chiefs with Marty Schottenheimer.
What a world. Really?
So the next time someone tries to tell you how important quarterback wins are,
remember Steve Bono and Elvis
Gerbach both won more games in a single season than Joe Montana ever did at Kansas City.
Oh my God, that's wild. I think I might take Steve Bono right now on the Browns. I don't know. Come on, Stevie. He's still slinging. He's alive.
Oh, that's a good question. Actually,
I don't know.
I
hope you're well, Steve.
I mean, Marty's no longer with us.
No, Marty, R.I.P. Oh my gosh, that you know what? You're right. Quarterbacks get far too much credit and far too much criticism as well. I think it really swings both ways. It's like there are other people on the team, But we do know the impact that a good one can make. You look no further than the Washington Commanders and a Jaden Daniels, and snap your fingers all of a sudden. The problem is that's not the norm, right? That's the exception.
All right, so before I let you go, let's do a little quick rapid fire here. Dude, does Andy McNamara have a favorite move so far?
You know what? I like Joey Bosa to the Bills.
Okay.
I like Bosa to the Bills. And the reason I like it is it's a 1-year deal, 12 mil, prove it. When he's healthy, he can still go. He is injury prone. We know that. That's the big if. It's an upgrade over Von Miller if he's healthy. And I think that can be a punch that the Bills need and can give them that upgrade. So I do like that from the more technical standpoint. From you know what, from the quarterback side, I kind of like what the Raiders did getting Geno Smith, because it really took the urgency off of them having to panic trade up from 6-2 per se, or 6-1, you know, if they want Shador or whatever. And it gave them a bit of leeway. Now you need to draft the quarterback still if you're the Raiders, but I think it gave them that level of professionalism again that is going to go with Pete Carroll of you are looking to solidify that renegade franchise.
Yep.
Geno does that. Carroll does that. You draft the guy maybe in the second, third round who you like, but you don't want to start right away.
I mean, they're drafting a guy in the first round, and his name is Shador Sanders.
If the Giants don't want him, Giants gave him cleats for the bowl game where he looked like he played for the New York Giants.
That's cute. I genuinely do think that they want Shador, because I think the idea is Geno will play for 2 years and then they'll hand it off to Shador.
And the funny thing is, I'd say Shador Sanders is arguably the most NFL ready, not the best, but the most NFL ready. Yeah.
Mentally.
Yeah. And he's accurate. Like, I think he has, out of the quarterbacks that people talk about, the highest floor, low ceiling though. I think if his name wasn't Shador Sanders, it was Billy Smith, it'd be early second round pick, you know, if he didn't have the hype behind him.
And by the way, so is Drew Brees, so it's okay.
Exactly. It's okay. If we're saying that, doesn't mean you're a bad quarterback. Guess who's the Super Bowl winning quarterback? Jalen Hurts. What round he go in? I would take him in the first. That's why I'd said
second.
Right? Second round. So it can happen. You have to go to the right situation. So if the Raiders get him and it works, go for it, man. He's got the Vegas attitude. I'll tell you this, Josh. Jackson Dart. I went into the combine not wanting to like Jackson Dart because I didn't like the Senior Bowl progression, and that guy kept winning me over every step of the way, from the talking to the skill. I want to see improvement, to the footwork, to the mechanics. Jackson Dart. Do not be surprised, people, if we see Jackson Dart a top 10 pick this year.
He's Andy McNamara, Andy MC81 on the Twitter X platform. Andy, tell folks about the Sick Podcast.
Oh, we got a great one up right now. Came up out last night on YouTube, the Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara. We got NFL free agency. I go if you want to see me beside myself over Kenny Pickett, watch it. I think you get a laugh out of it. It's funny and depressing at the same time. We go through the free agent moves, the what ifs, and of course dive into the draft, because Josh, as we know now that the free agency, the big names are, this starts to really set the picture for the NFL draft. We go over it in the show, so it's up right now.
Andy, always appreciate you jumping on. Always enjoy the conversation. We'll talk soon.
Me too, buddy. Talk to you later. See ya.
Josh Hennig here on 97.3 ESPN. And, of course, game night being brought to you by my friends over at Boxing Insider Promotions. Larry Goldberg is bringing back boxing to the Tropicana showroom in Atlantic City for the first time in 2025. Saturday, March 22nd. Don't miss your chance to see 5 undefeated New Jersey boxers all in action inside the Tropicana showroom. Of course, the crew is headlined by Justin Figueroa of Atlantic City, Apps Academy High School's Bruce Selden Jr., and the professional debut of Julio Sanchez III. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Boxing Insider Promotions, the first action-packed boxing event of 2025 is Saturday, March 22nd, inside the Tropicana showroom in Atlantic City. Coming up on the other side, your next opportunity to qualify for your chance to win tickets to the Phillies home opener or tickets to see Metallica at Lincoln Financial Field. That's next on 97.3 ESPN.
It's Flyers Lightning tonight on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app. Listen as Tim Saunders and Todd Padorn bring you all the exciting play-by-play action. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. It's Flyers hockey all season long on South Jersey's radio home for Philadelphia Flyers hockey, 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
The Joe Coy and Friends.
It feels good to laugh. That's why I tell people laugh. It's free. Not tonight. Not tonight, but tomorrow. Like to go laughing.
Don't miss them, Atlantic City. Saturday, October 18th at 7 p.m. Ocean Casino Resort. Tickets on sale Friday, March 14th at 10 a.m. at theoceanac.com. Don't miss Joe Coy and Friends.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/score. Ethos.com/score.
Sample Rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
We're famous for a buffalo wing. The Piccalilli comes to cooking wings. We're the king. The Piccalilli.
On game day, don't wing it. Take the trip to the Pick. South Jersey's king of the wing. Try their award-winning wings, tails, and ears in mild, spicy, or hot, or signature flavors like garlic parm, hot honey, Jim Beam maple, and more. For eat-in or takeout, get your chicken wing fix on Route 206 at the Piccalilli Inn. Join the flock. Follow them on Facebook for events and game day specials.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey. More like Mira joyed that Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at Walmart.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Wait, whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with Sequel Night. Explore our products at sequel.com. Youth is directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars Rewards. That means win or lose, every bet you place brings you closer to the type of perks only Caesars can offer. So download the app using promo code RADIODYW and place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 10 bets. Open to new users in New Jersey who are 21 or older. Max bet $25 for boosts and winnings. Max additional winnings $25,000 per bet. Drop boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. For terms, Caesars.com/promos. If you or someone has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now, more Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and on the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app. Powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
All right, that sound means it is time. The final time today that you can qualify for your chance to win Phillies home opener tickets with a parking pass or tickets to see Metallica at Lincoln Financial Field. 609-573-3776. 609-573-3776. Callers 6 and 7, you qualify, and you must be present to win at Maynard's in Margate. March 27th, where Mike Gill and the Sports Bash will be broadcasting live from 2 to 6 p.m. Be there at Maynard's in Margate for Phillies opening day. They're on the road, but when they come home, you can win tickets to see them at the home opener or Metallica at Lincoln Financial Field. Call now, 609-573-3776.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars Rewards. That means win or lose, every bet you place brings you closer to the type of perks only Caesars can offer. So download the app using promo code RADIODYW and place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 10 bets. Open to new users in New Jersey who are 21 or older. Max bet $25 for boosts and winnings. Max additional winnings $25,000 per bet. Drop boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. For terms, Caesars.com/promos. If you or someone has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.